I'll get it. I will get it. Hi, it's Todd from Todd's Workshop and Todd Cutler here, and today I'm here with Bill, who is going to be here throwing darts for me. So Bill is an amateur javelin thrower and obviously grizzled warrior. We've established for a long time now I can't throw for toffee. I'm useless. We've also established that I love these things, these medieval throwing darts, and I really want to know what they do and how they do it. I've been adamant that these big barbed heads are against flesh, not against armour. So we're going to find out. So I've got a shield, I've got some mail over a gambeson, and I've got a breastplate. So I have a theory. If I can't throw, I need something or somebody to throw for me. So we're going to start with Bill, but it's not going to be in quite the way you expect. I love these things, but I can't really investigate them because any investigation of these things with my throw is just going to be worthless. Bill, on the other hand, he can throw. So Bill is an amateur javelin thrower, little bit past his prime as a warrior, I'd say, so he will be the grizzled warrior Bill. He can throw in a way that I can't. He is much better at it. So he is much more the average Joe that you would find on a battlefield. So, Bill. Nice. Nice. So that was considerably further and considerably higher. So it's got a lot more energy in it because, of course, as it goes up, it comes down, brings the energy with it. What we can do now is we can pace that out, we can measure it, and I can make this machine here emulate what Bill does. It doesn't mean that the machine is set because biomechanics. So it's a simple thing. Bill, how did that feel in your shoulder? How did it feel in your arm?
It's not as comfortable as throwing a proper javelin.
Yeah.
And my javelin is probably another 60% heavier than this.
Yeah.
Which is much, much more comfortable to throw.
And bizarrely, and it might seem bizarre, counterintuitive, you can throw your heavier.
I can throw it further than this.
Further than this. So if we use this as a setup and I put a heavier thing on it, it would actually go less. The machine is not a human being, so we have to reset this every time we want to do a new investigation. But I don't care about that for today because we can set it to match Bill with these things and then we can go shoot the hell out of that stuff, which is exactly what we're going to go and do. It's pretty easy to load. It's obviously a little bit cumbersome, but you've got a thin loop here on the bungee because that has to fit into the crossbow trigger at the bottom. So that's in. Dart goes, dart goes on. Let's see how we go. Oh, lovely. So that's going out to 70 metres, 80 metres, something like that. It's not relevant though. And the thing is, it's not relevant because it's great fun, but it doesn't represent what Bill was doing. Well, that was fun, it was interesting, but it was useless. And it's useless because it's not replicating what Bill was doing. It is not the average Joe that we need it to be. And so the first thing I'm going to do is going to let some of the power off. I've got these sort of doubler units here. I'm just going to let them down. That'll take some of the power out of it. I don't know how much. And then let's reload again. It's definitely easier. Okay. Now the other thing is, if we can get the angle the same as Bill does, and the distance the same as Bill was, the target doesn't care. And that will mean that this is now working correctly. So I'll put a mark on here. That's at about the 35 degree angle, which is what Bill was doing. And here we go. It's about 15 metres off the range, but it's still way beyond target. So what I need to do now is just slide this thing down and take some of the draw length out of it. Back up to the right angle, about there. All right, well, it's knocked some more distance off, but still too far, so down again. Well, I'm ready to go with my downgraded spear thrower and my darts. Oh, over his shoulder. I have a feeling this may take some time. Oh, right in the neck. Oh, so close, so close. So I think I'm going to have to accept, actually, that there's going to be a little bit of aiming involved as well. Oh, at last, at last. So that's good enough for a strike. And there we have it. It's in, but not really in. You can actually see how far it penetrated. So 25mm an inch, something like that. So barely through that. It's not going to injure anybody on the other side. So I will say, against shields, no good at all, those heads. We're going to start shooting the chainmail. And I've put some foam under it because obviously the plastic mannequin's not really going to be a true representation. Right. There we are. Let's try that. Oh! Oh! Just over. Just going to have to elevate a little bit, I think. Oh! Ah! Lovely. Lovely. Straight in. So let's go and have a look at what damage we got. And this is where it struck. Low down. We've lost one link of 12mm links. No hole through the gambeson. You're not going to get hurt. So my assertion that these heads are against flesh and the records that show that they were used against horses and so on, absolutely correct, I would say. There is no way this is going through that mail. So the thing is, I think that also means that there is absolutely no point in shooting the breastplate. So let's go back, conclude, and then have some fun. So, first of all, Jorg Sprav, not the only guy who likes messing with bungees. I could have made this more powerful. I could have made it do all sorts of things. That's not what it's about. It was moderated down to be historically relevant. So yes, I could build it bigger. Jorg, you go for it. I want to know what Achilles would throw. Secondly, biomechanics really come into play when you're throwing something like this. So I've now got this brilliant little test bed where I've set a marker by Bill, and Bill being an average thrower, I think we can assume. So we've done that. I've got this. We've seen what it does. These do not throw through mail. You cannot throw them through mail. You can't really throw them through a shield. Padded armour, they're going to resist all of that. So these are against flesh. We've now found that out. We know that. However, there are so many more things that we can do with it. So, for instance, if you look at accounts like the Greeks, they say that they can throw javelins 150 metres. I wonder, can they? The Romans, they had pilum up to 5 pounds in weight. They used to throw them 15, 18 metres according to their accounts. So a much shorter distance. And we would look at that and go, well, that's all a bit rubbish. But my goodness, they must have punched hard when they landed. Got to explore that kind of thing. This test bed will allow us to do that. But what we need to do is adjust it each time for what mankind and biomechanics allow us to do. So that's it, really. That is our conclusion. These do not go through armour. I have now got a new toy that we can all play with. Send in your suggestions. But of course, history is not always perfect. It's not always a scientific experiment. Things are different. So what would have happened if Bill was 22? What happens if he was in the absolute prime, the best thrower in his tribe or his unit or his legion? What happens if he prided himself on outthrowing anybody else and that's all he was ever committed to? Well, let's find out. So we'll wind it back up again, we'll go again, and we'll shoot against our armour. This is the first of our shots with the champion of the tribe. Oh! He's good, that champion. Oh, lovely. Right, better go for the male. That has definitely gone in. Right, onto the breastplate. We've got a proper breastplate out there. It's about 2.5mm thick at the centre, something like that. So not comedy thin. Oh, gotta go again. I'll get it. I will get it. Oh, beautiful. Right, let's go see what we got. Well, this is our male. And we have lost one link again. One link. That's it. So actually, hasn't pierced the gambeson. Even with an 80-metre throw, this hasn't got enough to get through the male and the gambeson. And then we have the breastplate here. And I think it actually hit exactly the same hole. I'll show you that in a moment. But check this head out. So that is why you don't use leaf-shaped heads against armour. And to be honest, they're the same material. They're both mild steel, about 0.15, 0.2% carbon. But very often, these things are going to be made out of wrought iron, not steel. You don't need steel. They didn't do it. So there we are. Definitely not against plate armour. But I think what we need to do now is dress him up in everything that he might have had. Mail, gambeson, breastplate, and a shield, and then we'll just shoot, have some fun. Here comes the first. That could not have been nicer. Totally repeatable. What a wonderful bit of test equipment. Oh dear me. I love this thing. I love its ease of use, its accuracy, versatility, adjustability. I even like its particularly ugly looks. Very post-apocalypse. Did I say it was accurate? I think we'll call it a day there, but it's going to be back. Thanks.